Do you remember me? Do you remember why you subscribed to my YouTube channel 8 years ago? Do you remember when some crazy Christian claimed that Donald Trump would become the Antichrist? Oh, now you remember me. Still think I'm crazy? It is now nearing the end of September of 2024. The presidential election is about a month and a half away. It was about 8 years ago when I published my first video, which went relatively viral, showing how Trump can be the one to fulfill Revelation 13. I successfully predicted he would win in 2016, when the media all claimed he'd lose. And then I dealt with tons of comments for years, claiming I was wrong. Most of you only watched my first Trump video. Very few of you watched my update videos, let alone watching all of them. I even had to re-watch my own videos to remind myself of what I said. And I found my last video of this Trump series to be quite interesting 3.5 years later. I'd like to revisit something I said. This is part of my last video.
But will he? It sure seems pretty obvious that he'll run again in 2024. I don't think his age will be a factor at all. And can you imagine how upset they will be if he comes back again and somehow, despite all their fraudulent attempts, wins the 2024 election? I mean, their fraud was so blatant in 2020. Just think how blatant their assassination attempt will be in 2024 or 2025. They won't care who knows. They've mastered the art of plausible deniability. They'll set some Oswald up to take the fall, but that would then put my prediction right back on track.
I find it very interesting that it has now become mainstream news that someone is trying to take out Trump. I said over and over again in multiple videos that an assassination attempt was expected and that it wouldn't kill him. When the Butler, PA incident occurred, I wasn't surprised. But I held off on making this video because I knew there would still be another attempt made on his life. Then the golf course incident happened. And I'm quite sure there will still be another attempt. Sadly, one of these attempts will be more successful than in Butler, PA. But it still won't kill him, if my entire theory be true. So what else has happened since my last update video from over 3.5 years ago? Well, there's also been all the lawfare waged against him. They just keep accusing him of false stuff to try to bankrupt him and smear his reputation. But it doesn't work, and he comes out smelling like a rose every time after case gets dismissed on appeal. Remember my Teflon Don update video? Of course you don't. Well, they tried this stuff back then when he was still in office, and it didn't work. So, right after he announces he's running again in 2024, they started all the fake indictments. Trying to throw an innocent man in prison is exactly what the Democrats are trying to do, just so they can remain in political power. 100% demonic behavior. So here we are, 8 years later, and I am again predicting the exact same thing. Donald Trump will win in 2024 with a large enough landslide that the cheaters can't defeat, like they did in 2020. He will change when Satan enters him, like what happened to Judas. It will probably happen because of a semi-successful attempt on his life. Then he'll be the Antichrist once he fulfills the proclaiming himself to be God verse somewhere. That is still yet to be determined how that will happen, but it will happen, and Donald Trump is the only one I see today that can qualify. And again, I still hope I'm wrong.